What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free and I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. Social media links are in the description if you want to go and check out my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's transfer update. We're aiming for 300 likes, and also don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. So, only got one story to speak about, and it's a really big update from the ins on Sverre Nypan, a player that we've not spoken about in over a month, and I definitely think that there is reason to be a big cause for concern when it comes to this transfer being completed by Manchester City. So, the latest and some context into this transfer. It's been more than a month since we've had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. It's more than a month since Sverre Nypan travelled to Manchester, completed his medical, and everything was put in place and agreed. We got that here we go a month ago, and since then, it's been radio silence. We have not heard a single thing. So, Sverre Nypan, he's an 18-year-old Norwegian central midfielder, plays for Rosenborg in Norway. Manchester City agreed a £12.5 million fee last month to sign him and bring him in. Everything seems to be completed, so what is the hold-up? Why is this not being announced? What's going on? Well, we've had some more details put about this in the last 7 days, because Nypan recently at a football game was asked about when is he going to be announced as a Manchester City player, said that he's been waiting a while, that it's not been made official as of yet. He's excited for the move, but he's not got anything else to say until things are official. This was said last week, 7 days ago. And then a really interesting article came out in the last 3 days, hearing word from Germany, from BILD in particular, who ran an article saying that Sverre Nypan to Manchester City, it looks like it's done, but it isn't completed. It isn't fully done. It isn't 100% across the line. And while things are not 100% across the line, things can still go wrong in this transfer. There is a possibility, albeit probably a slim possibility, but still a possibility because it's not been announced, that this transfer may not be done by Manchester City and Sverre Nypan could end up somewhere else. Now, because Man City have got everything in place and sorted and everything, you would say that probably 99 times out of 100 that this transfer is going to be done and Manchester City are going to get this transfer sorted. But what about the other 1%? That's the question, because we've not heard anything for over a month, and I would suggest that the 1% now becomes quite concerning, because this should have been a bit of a formality for Manchester City. Once they've flown Sverre Nypan in, he's done his medical, and he's had his pictures taken, done his interview, and everything will have already been sorted. The Manchester City should have just announced it there and then. That's what we were all expecting. That's what I was expecting as well, and that hasn't happened. And in the last few days, we're starting to hear some murmurs and some rumours and some word coming in from Germany, in particular from BILD, saying that whilst things aren't done, and they've had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, which Fabrizio Romano will have had clearance from Sverre Nypan's camp and his agent. Hence, Fabrizio Romano doesn't get things wrong. He waits until the agent gives him the clearance to say this transfer is going to get done, it's done and dusted, give it the here we go, and then he'll obviously do the engagement side of things for the transfer. But BILD are saying still not completed and still not done yet. Borussia Dortmund feel like there is a chance that they could still sign Sverre Nypan, even though he looks set for a move to Manchester City. And what's been reported is that if Dortmund put in a bid of 15 to 20 million euros, so 12.96 to 17.28 million pounds, very important that, because remember, Man City have agreed a deal at £12.5 million, so we're looking at a deal that's worth more than what Manchester City are prepared to pay. The question is, are Dortmund prepared to pay that? And if they've given their verbal agreements put in place with Rosenborg, then Rosenborg could be where this thing's getting stuck, that they're holding up this deal because they've got a club who's willing to pay more money than Manchester City. And I always say that think of transfers like you are purchasing a house. If you agree a deal with a party to buy a house for a set price, then them agreements are all put in place. But until that deal has been completed, somebody else can come in and offer more. And if the selling party want to accept a bigger offer, even though you're more advanced, then they are entitled to do so. It's not unprofessional, but it's frowned upon, shall we say. And I'm not suggesting that Rosenborg are doing that, but there is a possibility that they may be saying that to Man City, Dortmund are willing to pay more, and what we're going to do here is we're now going to reject your offer, even though we're very advanced, and we're going to accept their offer as well. What would make more sense here is you pay what Dortmund are willing to pay, or maybe a little bit more. That might be the case of what's happening here. We'll have to wait and see. There's all kinds of reasons as to why this deal could be being held up. It could be from a simple fact that Manchester City want to loan Sverre Nypan out and they've not found the right club for him to be loaned to, but they don't want him to do pre-season. So until City have found the right party for him to be loaned to, maybe Man City don't want to complete this transfer. Everything all sorted and in the pipeline, it just needs Man City to press the big green button and say the deal is done. That might be the hold-up. Man City may want him to do pre-season, to which case they'll want him to join up with Manchester City when the first team squad arrive back for pre-season at the end of July. So it may make more sense here for Manchester City to say, actually, we'll announce things just before players come back from pre-season, ready to come back for pre-season. It may make more sense for Manchester City to go down that avenue, but it's caused me a lot of concern, this article from Germany. The fact that there's a price that's being put on Sverre Nypan that's more than what Manchester City are paying for Sverre Nypan. The fact that there's a club's name out there with Borussia Dortmund that want to bring him in as well. Obviously, Nypan's chosen Manchester City because Man City have given him promises that he will be around the City first team squad, and there's no secret that clubs from Germany do give young players more of an opportunity than what you would get at the top clubs in the Premier League. They will develop more in Germany. So if Dortmund come in and willing to pay more to Rosenborg, willing to pay more to Sverre Nypan, and with the promise that he's going to automatically go in and he's going to be a regular first team starter for them, and he's going to be giving them opportunities to develop and be the best player possible, then all of a sudden Nypan's head could turn. Now, it does sound to me that from Nypan's point of view, he wants to join Manchester City. He's excited to join Manchester City. Not sure why there's a hold-up and he's waiting for that to be sorted, but he's going to leave that in the capable hands of his agent and his entourage to get that one sorted, who I presume have been in constant, regular contact with Manchester City, and everything's all sorted. They're just waiting for City to decide when they want to announce it. As I said, could be a finance issue. It could be a case that other clubs are coming in and it's a Rosenborg issue. It could be a case here that Manchester City just simply want to wait until they've found a loan club for him to go to. We'll wait and see. I mean, City did the same pretty much with Juma Bar. It was never really officially announced by Manchester City. He just kind of arrived in Manchester, got everything sorted, and then a few days later he ended up in France. All the pictures were sorted, and then it was announced that RC Lens were taking Juma Bar on loan from Manchester City, not from any of the other clubs that he's previously played for, but from Manchester City, without City needing to make it official. So maybe Manchester City want to do that with Sverre Nypan as well, where the loan club's going to make it official for Manchester City. So there's all kinds of potential little hiccups which all equal just 1% of this transfer not happening. As I said, I'm pretty confident that the transfer will get done. It's 99% done, but until Manchester City press that button and say that the transfer's done and it's announced and everything's all done now and Sverre Nypan's a Manchester City player, then there is the possibility of Manchester City being gazumped and somebody else coming in for him. So it's a really interesting transfer. As I said, Fabrizio Romano has given this to Here We Go. I would love to know Fabrizio Romano's thoughts on this, because he's also been pretty radio silent despite a lot of people asking for updates. He's not given an update because he's not got any updates, because there is no updates to give. He doesn't know what's going on. I'm not entirely sure Sverre Nypan knows what's going on. More than likely his camp don't know what's going on. So here what's happening is it's either a Man City problem or a Rosenborg problem. We'll wait and see as to what it is. It would be nice to have some clarification and things getting sorted. Maybe there's a communication problem or what's not, or maybe it's just Manchester City are very relaxed and are pretty laissez-faire when it comes to this transfer, that they're not in all that big of a rush to get the transfer sorted, because obviously they're happy for the development of Nypan, and what's going to happen here is they'll want him to join up whenever Manchester City want it to get sorted, and ultimately with City being the team that's purchasing Sverre Nypan, it'll be up to Manchester City that once they press that button to complete the transfer, Manchester City are then his employer. So we'll wait and see. What I'm not going to put loads of emphasis on, but I do want to make the point that this transfer is not done, and this transfer could end up with Manchester City being gazumped, and Manchester City could end up not signing Sverre Nypan. And Fabrizio Romano giving it the here we go. I'm not aware that Fabrizio Romano has ever given a here we go to a transfer, and then that transfer not happening, he ends up joining another club. So, as I said, I'd love to know Fabrizio Romano's thoughts on that, because he relies heavily on his reputation, and something going wrong in a transfer has just never happened. And to be honest, it wouldn't be typical City, really. The first ever here we go for us not to sign a player. So, we'll see. I'm hoping we'll get clarity and a conclusion on this transfer in the coming days. I imagine probably won't be in the coming days. City's pace since June 10th, when the first part of the transfer window shut, has been pretty slow. So I think City are just going to maybe just coast along with that. Yeah, we'll see what the latest is on this. What's the hold-up? City holding it up? Rosenborg holding it up? Are Dortmund going to put a bid in? Is that going to complicate things? Are City looking for a loan club? Who knows? That's the latest though on Sverre Nypan, and I know a few of you guys have been asking for an update, so that's the latest that we've got. As I said, I'm hoping we'll get some clarity on this pretty soon. So that has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here as well. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news. You don't want to miss a thing, so do subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links are in the description, including my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update, religiously, of course. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.